What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Charles Oliveira will be fighting for the belt with a big win over Max Holloway. Last week, it was revealed that Charles Oliveira will be taking on Max Holloway for the BMF belt at UFC 326. Since then, Oliveira has come out and revealed that if he gets a big win, he will be fighting for the belt next. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. During a video appearance on AG Fights YouTube channel, Charles Oliveira talked about the entire lightweight situation. Oliveira believes that he's a much bigger name than Paddy, Justin Gaethje, and Arman Tsarukyan. So with that being said, he believes that if he can get the BMF title, the UFC will be forced to put him back in the title mix, considering his popularity. The UFC is a game. You have to learn how to play it. Otherwise, you get left behind. Let's go back a bit. Topuria is going through some tough moments in his life and he asked for some time off, right? So now we have two guys fighting for the belt in January, interim. And then 2 months later, I'm fighting for the BMF title. I think, with all due respect, I sell much more than the two who are going to fight for the title. I have much more charisma than the two who are going to fight for the title. So whether you like it or not, I'm already stepping in strong on the edge of that conversation. For me, Arman was the guy who should be fighting for the belt, either interim or undisputed, but I don't know why they didn't put him there. So whether people like it or not, I think I sell way more than Arman. I'm going to put on a great fight and I'm going to win this fight. And if it's a great fight and I win, I think I'll burst the bubble and I'll be next in line for the title again. Now, if Oliveira does win and goes into the title shot mix, this just pushes down Arman Tsarukyan even more. At this point, Arman, you might as well change weight divisions if that happens. But anyways, what are your thoughts on everything? Do you think a big win at UFC 326 can warrant Charles a title fight? Shavkat Rakhmonov responds to Joaquin Buckley call out. Joaquin Buckley has been calling out Shavkat for a fight because he believes that if he knocks him out, then he's next for the belt. Buckley posted on Instagram writing, "Stop hiding in Uzbekistan. You've never fought someone with my speed, never fought someone with my pressure, never fought someone with my power. You've been living off an image and I'm here to destroy it. You talk about being the next contender, so now I am the one standing in your way to do something about it. You know a fight with me exposes everything. Your holes, your hesitation, your limits. That's why your team won't say my name. Henry Hoof said himself, none of you boys should fight me. I'm telling you right now, Shavkat. But Gomedov is coming for you. No contender talk, no excuses. Just sign the contract." Shavkat saw the post and responded in the comments by writing, "Black boy, you get beat up." Buckley responded back, writing, "Nah, say what you really want to say, lil." Clearly, there's some animosity between these two, and Buckley is pushing for the matchup to fast-track himself to the title. If somehow this fight gets confirmed, who do you think will win? Let us know in the comments below. Alexandre Volkanovski shuts down retirement rumors. Ahead of his fight at UFC 325 against Diego Lopez, Volk shut down any talk about retiring after this fight. He still wants a quick turnaround after this fight, and wants to add both Movsar Evloev and Lerone Murphy to his resume as well. Volk said this, "It hasn't been planned to be my last fight, so you don't need to really worry about that. There's definitely no plans for that. My plans are going out there, and as I told you, not taking too much damage. Going out there, really sending a statement and make it, be really impressive in there, and then maybe get a quick turnaround, and then we'll see what happens from there. I think you've got a couple other guys as well, like Movsar, Lerone Murphy. They're undefeated and all that. So they're for the legacy. They look like they might be pretty good as well, so we'll see what happens. Do this in Sydney, put on a show, maybe turn it over. We'll see what happens. But again, definitely no plans for that." Joe Rogan reacts to Khamzat and Ian Garry altercation. During UFC Qatar, Ian Garry was captured being slightly aggressive with Khamzat, which resulted in him pushing Garry away. Since then, the two have shared their POV on what happened. Ian basically called out Khamzat for being a disgrace. As for Khamzat, he joked around about Garry trying to get fame off his name during an interview with ESPN.
Why give him more hype?
No problem. No problem. We can speak about him as well. He's also a UFC fighter. We make him famous. He wants it. He wants it. He want to be a corner, but we make him like, yeah. What should we do?
Yeah,
brother, this cappuccino, he tastes like my cappuccino. It will be so sweet if I get a fight with him. No, man.
With Alex?
With Alex and Garry, no.
Well, during a recent podcast, Joe Rogan also reacted to the altercation, and during an episode with Brendan Allen, Rogan reacted by saying it was weird how Garry was being passively aggressive.
I don't understand that, because I had heard there's another angle that shows that Ian slapped him on the back pretty hard.
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, okay. But Ian's that guy. He's like, he tried to big brother him.
Because the clip that everybody saw was after he slapped him on the back. It looked like Chimaev just got really aggressive with him for no reason.
There you go. This is the other angle.
And then he's talking a little
Yeah. Like, oh, we're fine. He's not gonna do nothing.
So it's a little weirdly aggressive. It ain't that.
It's passive aggressive.
It's a little weird. He taps him. It was like a little like grab his clothes and shove him a little bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a guy that's, hey brother, all right.
Exactly.
Hey.
Some things he might say or do I don't like or agree with, but hey, as long as it's not to me, we good. But that, like, and other things he does, I fully agree with. I stand behind, as a man, I stand behind him.
UFC updates ahead of this weekend's Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape flyweight bout and what will be ESPN's last UFC event. Let's take a look at some news. We'll kick it off with the new UFC rankings update following UFC 323. We'll start off with the bantamweight rankings. With Petr Yan winning the belt and becoming a champion, this now leaves Merab Dvalishvili ranked number 1 following the loss. With Merab losing the belt, it also changed the pound-for-pound rankings. Merab moved down 5 spots and is now ranked number 8. Petr Yan has now entered the pound-for-pound rankings at number 6. As for the flyweight rankings, Joshua Van is now the champion of the division, so this leaves Alexandre Pantoja ranked number 1. As for Tatsuro Taira, who had an impressive win over Brandon Moreno, he is now ranked number 3 and moved up 2 spots in the flyweight division. Also, Joshua Van is now in the pound-for-pound rankings at number 11. As for Pantoja, he has moved down 4 spots and is ranked number 9. Okay, let's move on to a UFC Mexico fight announcement. Last week, we reported that the UFC will be headed to Mexico on the 28th of February. According to Real Kevin K, which was confirmed by the one and only Marcel Dorf, Wes Schultz will fight Damian Pinas. Both fighters are competing for the first time in the promotion after winning a contract on Dana White's Contender Series. Lastly, we have Dana White revealing some huge news that got brushed under the rug after UFC 323. During the post-fight press conference, Dana White revealed that he had signed a new 5-year contract extension with TKO. This means Dana White will remain the UFC CEO for at least 5 years. Can you imagine the UFC without Dana White?
I believe in 2019 you announced you'd sign a 7-year extension for your position. That would bring it to next year. Have you signed anything new since then, or is this a contract year for you?
I have been extended.
For how long?
That's a good question. 5 years? Yeah? Another 5-year extension. Literally this year.
UFC fighter pulls out a fight last minute. Melsik Bagdasaryan and Joanderson Brito are no longer fighting this weekend in UFC Vegas 112. Bagdasaryan pulled out with no disclosed reason so far. To make matters worse, this is not the first time the two were matched up. Back in 2022, Bagdasaryan and Brito were supposed to fight, but Bagdasaryan pulled out of that fight as well. At least the UFC quickly found a replacement and matched Brito against Isaac Thompson. The MMA community has some mixed opinions about this new matchup, with some people calling it legal. One fan wrote, nah, this poor guy, he genuinely might get in this fight. Another fan wrote, kids getting. Isaac Thompson was actually signed to the UFC to be the replacement opponent against Joanderson Brito. He's a top Australian prospect and is currently only 23 years old. Joanderson Brito is 30 years old and is 3-2 in the UFC, coming off 2 straight losses. Who do you think will win in this fight? Let us know in the comments below. Curtis Blaydes defends Tom Aspinall for eye poke situation. With everyone talking about Tom Aspinall and the eye poke from Ciryl Gane, not many people are actually on Tom's side in this situation. People believe that the eye poke isn't that serious, and he wanted a quick way out against Gane. Well, now Curtis Blaydes has come out on the James Lynch show and defended Aspinall, saying that all UFC fighters are lions, and no lions are scared of each other. He thinks that if Tom said that he can't continue, then he's got to respect that. And it's true. Here's what Blaydes had to say.
As Gane was like bringing back his hand, it kind of dug in there pretty deep, and you gotta respect Tom. Like he's not scared. So like, if he says he can't continue because he feels that his eye is at the point where he can't see and he might get knocked out when it's only because of his eye, I gotta respect it. Like he needed time. I don't understand like all the anger. Like it's not like he's not scared. Like everyone in the UFC is a lion. Lions aren't scared of other lions. We fight. It is what it is. You might win, you might lose, but you're not scared.
Do you agree with Blaydes and think that Aspinall is getting unnecessary hate for getting poked in the eye? Personally, the hate for Aspinall should be directed towards Gane for continuously attempting to poke him. And then when he did, he got both eyes. Aspinall simply made the smart decision to not fight with compromised vision. But let us know what you think in the comments below. Joshua Van talks about Alexandre Pantoja arm injury. Pantoja's injury last weekend at UFC 323 shocked the whole MMA world. and many people believe that Pantoja deserves an immediate rematch, given that the incident occurred in round 1. Well, now, on a recent appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, Joshua Ban said that he also believes that Pantoja deserves the instant rematch if he can recover in time. But if he doesn't recover in time, Van will face whoever the UFC puts in front of him. He also took credit for the arm breaking, saying that a lot of people don't like it, but he made that happen by catching the kick. Here's what Van had to say.
You know what happened? You know what I mean? A lot of people say it's accident, but you know, I made that happen. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't like that, but it's a fight. You know, things like that happen, and he's a great champion, and you know, he took responsibility for whatever happened. You know what I mean? And that's why I respect him so much, and I think he deserves a rematch for sure.
In the same interview, Van said that he also wants to fight at least 3 or 4 times next year as the champion, comparable to Merab. He said, "Yeah, I want to fight 3 at least. Like I say, everybody is different, you know what I mean? So for me, I do better when I stay active. For me, staying active ain't a problem." Dr. Brian Soderer also appeared on the Ariel Helwani show and talked about Pantoja's arm break. While he doesn't have specific details, he said that if the arm is not fractured and he only dislocated his elbow, then he most likely won't need surgery. According to Dr. Brian, only a small percentage of elbow dislocations require surgery, but we don't exactly know if Pantoja's elbow was fractured or just dislocated. That piece of information will tell us exactly how long the former champion will be out for. Another thing is, when the elbow dislocates from place, things get torn inside, and that's another thing that could keep him sidelined for a while. Here's what Soderer had to say. Is there any scenario in which he avoids surgery here? Yeah, definitely. So in fact, most elbow dislocations, unless there's a large fracture, most elbow dislocations do not need surgery. In fact, a very, very small percentage of them need surgery. Hopefully, it's just dislocated and nothing is torn. That's not the case. You always assume there has to be some degree of tearing whenever it dislocates, but the body does a really good job, especially the elbow, of kind of healing those tears on its own, restabilizing the joint. If there's a fracture, that usually means it's more likely to be persistently unstable and might need surgery. But if there's no fracture, it's very rare to need surgery for an elbow dislocation. Merab fighting Petr Yan next, confirmed by the UFC. This past weekend, we witnessed Merab step into the cage for the 4th time this year to defend his title. Unfortunately for Dvalishvili, he could not make history by defending the belt 4 times in a calendar year. Since that fight, Dvalishvili seems to be in good spirits as he's continuously posted videos online appearing happy after the loss. Merab even posted a statement on X providing an update to his health and ended it off with saying he's ready for the rematch as soon as possible. However, not everyone thinks Merab will instantly get this rematch. According to Sean O'Malley, he doesn't see Merab getting the rematch, saying he got dominated and the UFC won't run it back.
Who does Merab fight next if he doesn't fight Petr?
How can he not fight Petr? I feel like.
Nah. I get that.
I feel like there's no doubt that Merab gets that rematch.
I don't think so.
No?
He just got 50. He just 50-45.
Yeah.
They're dominating.
Yeah, but he dominated the first one, so why would they not run it back?
Why would they?
Peter's hand was broken.
Yeah.
The first one.
No, they ain't running that back.
No?
No.
Well, it looks like Sean O'Malley couldn't be more wrong. During a recent interview, Merab revealed that the UFC told him that the rematch is next for him. They even went as far as to tell Merab to rest as long as he wanted for the rematch. In the interview, Merab said the following, which was translated. The UFC contacted me and said, please rest as long as you want. Your next fight is a rematch with Petr Yan for the belt. Rest as long as you want and call us when you're ready. They probably want to do the fight in the summer, but I don't want to wait until the summer. I'll repeat once again, I didn't get any serious injuries from this fight. Anyways, I want to schedule the fight early, maybe in the spring in April. That would be good. Or maybe the fight can be scheduled in the summer. Wow, even with the UFC offering Merab as much time he needs, he still wants to remain active. Huge props. As for you guys, who do you think will win in the rematch? Let us know in the comments below. As we're on the topic of this fight, Rogan reacted during his podcast yesterday, talking about how crazy Petr Yan's training camp must be to beat a guy like Merab.
Bro, his training camp must have been hell.
Had to.
Had to be hell.
Had to.
Had to be. I mean, he must have done some. I mean, it looked like it. I saw some videos of it. It looked like he was doing some wild strength and conditioning and plyometrics, and he knew what he was in for. That's the thing. If you're gonna fight a guy like Merab, it's like you know what the mountain is. You ready to climb it?
For sure.
And the first time they fought, apparently he had a f***ed up right hand.
That's what I heard.
He couldn't grapple with it, and he couldn't throw punches with it. So I rewatched the fight after he said that. I was like, oh, he's barely using it. Like, barely using his right hand.
Made sense, right?
Totally makes sense. And then also psychologically, if you only got one hand, that everything, now you have to think.
Right.
You know, you can't really throw combinations. You have to
grab.
think.
And while we're on the topic of Merab Dvalishvili goes off on Petr Yan. Late last night, Petr Yan had an interview where he revealed that he doesn't control his social media and his manager has actually been tweeting at Merab. Peter said, "Oh, he's probably speaking to my manager, Sayat. No, we won't be friends." Merab fired back at Peter for his comments in the interview on Twitter, writing, "Fans and friends, listen to this guy now, at Peter Yan. Never believe a word he says. Just admitted he doesn't write his own social media. Said he never said, 'see you friend,' or said 'speedy recovery friend' yesterday on Twitter. Wasn't him. How quickly he changed his mind. Thought he was humbled when I beat him in 2023, and I was friendly toward him. Forget it now, liar. Game on." He also called out Peter for having friends who are fake, writing, "Hey Peter, you would be respectable if you really called me friend, but instead you choose these two as friends. Anatoly Malikin bet me $50,000. Never paid his bet like a real man. Mr. St. Patrick 1 called out and cursed at my friend's mother. Then instead of taking me on like a man after I slapped his coward face, he made me pay fines and go to court. Yeah, you got some good friends there." Looks like the feud between Merab and Peter is just getting started, and it looks like Merab is going to want redemption. It'll be interesting to see where this goes next. And that'll wrap up our video today. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss a video. We'll see you all tomorrow.